I encourage you to go straight from this place to the police station, report Kudakwa as a corrupt person, and maybe from here you also go to the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission. You go and report him and submit your allegations about his corruption in those institutions. Because those are the institutions with a statutory mandate to deal with accusations of such a nature. Definitely the journalist, he can only allege, but he can't say, he can't, until you go through that system, which I've described, it's only an allegation. So I cannot comment about things which come from social media. I don't have a brief for Tagwirei and his business, but I do have a brief about Zanu PF and the systems which it has put as a party to make sure that there is probity in the business conduct of Zimbabweans. So we have the laws, and they were passed by this party. It has been the ruling party for the past 45 years. Those laws exist, and there are statutory institutions which deal with those matters. Please, let's not use the public gallery as an arbiter of allegations of that nature. Because if we do that, we become a lawless land. Today it's you, tomorrow it's him, next time it's me. We can't do that. So go to the competent authorities to say, why haven't you dealt with Tagwirei? It is not the duty of this party to substitute itself for the statutory organs of the country which deal with matters which you are raising, particularly if they are of such a grave nature. Yeah. The other thing about Chilamasa's statements, I am the spokesperson of Zanu PF. I speak for Zanu PF, and I speak for the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, who is the first Secretary and President of Zanu PF. I speak for him. I speak for the party. I am not the spokesperson of Patrick Chinamasa. So I can't be commenting on anything which he feels he may say at any particular time. It is comments. It has nothing to do with what my job does, which is to clarify, which is to broadcast and give clarity to the membership of the party and the general public of Zimbabwe about what is going on in terms of appointments in the Politburo. Incidentally, and I want to emphasize this, I do not announce members of the Central Committee from the minutes of a Politburo meeting. I don't use the minutes as a reference point. What I use is an appointment letter which has been signed by the Secretary of Administration, Obet Mpov, which would have been bona fide cleared by the leader of the party, President Mnangagwa. When that letter is brought to me, I will come here and I will come and announce to you who is a Central Committee member and who is not. And that Central Committee member would have been duly informed through the appointment letter. So if that procedure hasn't happened, I will not announce anybody here. And it means that that person is not yet be in that position which is purported to be in. Does it make sense to you? Thank you so much. We had a Central Committee meeting here a few days ago. That individual was not here. There were a host of other names which may have been, which are justing to be members of the Central Committee. They have yet to be cleared in the manner which I described. I only deal, appointments means, like everybody has got a job, appointment. But you're appointed as a journalist by whichever organization. Those late often party, it does not come from minutes. So me as an information officer, I don't go and read minutes. This is the appointment. No. Don't need that time. And that letter does not exist concerning that individual which you are talking about. Okay. Thank you so much.
The second question, Temba Mlispa has publicly attacked senior Zanu PF leaders, including Vice President Cde Chiwenga. Does the party see these remarks as an isolated outburst? And how is the party responding to the attacks?
Look, this is a democracy. Somebody may attack anybody. It shouldn't be done. We should also behave towards each other with propriety as common citizens of Zimbabwe. I have been several times attacked by the same person. He actually gets his meal ticket from whoever he sponsors him. Each time he mentions the name of Mutsvangwa or even my wife, he gets some meal out of that, because he cannot any hard days work from decent work. I have lived with him for a long time, so look, maybe if I feel it is worth it, I may decide to take liberious action by the courts. I may decide to answer back. I could go for a press conference, and I've got a lot of things which I could go on about it. But sometimes you say, one fool at a time. If there's a fool already in the ring, why do you want to join the ring? You know, maybe you just leave it like that. Because mushakwedu zvinonzi kana benzi rakubira hembe uchigeza dzawakayanika rine marengenya iro iwo ukabuda patsime kana mudziwa uchiritandadisa uri pedzi benzi rine marengenya vanhu vanofunga kuti iwo uri pedzi ndiwe benzi. So sometimes you let sleeping dogs lie. I'm sure General Chiwenga will probably answer in the same way, but look, I will direct out. I will ask maybe what next time he is having a public, you can also ask him that question.
Thank you. My name is Nesevita. I wanted to find out from you, in your press conference you said that you are not going to be swayed by external innuendos or allegations into the party. But we understand that these allegations were not external, unless you are implying that the last week's Politburo was attended by externals who produced a dossier on allegations of corruption and vote buying or place buying in Zanu PF. Can you please clarify that? Because we know that there was a dossier that was presented in the Zanu PF Politburo that spoke to allegations.
There will always be dossiers against a revolutionary movement like Zanu PF. It is part of the existence of Zanu PF that in one way or the other there's a dossier produced to, and invariably it's about trying to detract, to confuse, to deviate, to make the party deviate from its chosen path of delivering prosperity to the Zimbabwe people. I picked up about this dossier manufactured in South Africa 4 months ago, which we are talking about. And our president was already aware of it from that time, and we know the origin. He knew, and our South African friends knew the origin of that dossier. We also, as a party, knew of the attempts to foist turmoil within the party, to unduly propel a leadership contest which is off the timetable of the party at this particular juncture. We have a Congress coming in 2027-28, which will decide on what direction the party takes in terms of leadership. Some people may be impatient that that date may be a little bit too far, and outsiders may even lend these documents, these dossiers which you talk about. In fact, there was one at some time which was on the television as the Gold Mafia dossier. You know, they always come, you know, they do come. And sometimes if they coincide with ambition within the liberation movement, somebody may even buy them and he may then try to see what mileage he can get out of such dossiers. But when it comes before the Politburo, we are very sane people. We have been through it 1,000 times. 60 years of being Zanu PF, we have seen it all. So in the end, those things, we just put them aside and we focus at the more important work at hand. We are not distracted by the dossiers which even your publishing house is prone to peddle. You try to foist those dossiers as if they are the all and every all about Zimbabwe. They are not, those dossiers. What I have talked to you about, what we are doing with the economy of Zimbabwe and the delivery of prosperity to Zimbabwe, those are the things of Robert Kanana's. We are not, and my president in particular, this one, is unduly faced, is not duly faced by some of these dossiers which you claim to be. Maybe one or two of his lieutenants, maybe one or two people in the Politburo may think it matters. Maybe they may think it can give them some mileage in a purported leadership contest. But the Politburo is not unduly moved by those things. We just look at it, we put it, we treat them like a duck fluffs off water as it begins to fly out of a pond. Blessed.
That's a follow-up comment, success. You speak about the Congress that is coming in the near future, but your party has declared resolution number 1, and that is, it appears it's casting stone. And your provinces are already endorsing the candidature of President Emerson Mnangagwa beyond 2030. So this Congress that you're talking about, is it just water under the bridge? Is it a done deal? And lastly, in your past...
Can I answer that? It's a democratic party. And in 5 years, this man has restored the currency of this country. This man has built a power-based energy in Bwanke, which nobody ever thought of. This man has given the country a steel plant, which is unparalleled on the African, even in European continent. This man. This man, he have removed the country from being a beggar of the World Food Program for food for the Zimbabweans. We are now producing wheat for ourselves. This man is building roads, even on the budget of the country when nobody else wants to support us. This man is attracting investment on a world-class scale, like having steel plants by the best investors available on the global market. This man has put lithium plants where Zimbabwe can now aspire to become a producer of electric vehicle batteries, where our resources are not being exported raw, they are being beneficiated here, giving this country a chance to become part of the industrial revolution in a globalizing world. This man has made many young people become billionaires, or at least give them a US dollar food earnings per day by growing tobacco, by digging gold. Now they are in blueberries, which are going even all over the global market. There is palpable prosperity which is being delivered to Zimbabwe. And the membership of Zanu PF is happy with that man. They haven't seen anything which they may want to say can blemish him. So they say, Rambayam Chigonabas, they say, if it end broke, don't fix it. That's what they are saying. He says, I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in 2 terms. I wrote that constitution. When my day comes, after my 2 terms, I go. That's his view. So let's wait for the date. But it doesn't stop us from working on a day-to-day issues, on the economic parameters which we are talking about. Because that debate should not become the be-all and everything about Zanu PF. Yes, there are some people in Zanu PF who are but the other people are saying, Shipela, Imbomirai, Ngwenyi Chashika Congress, Tokona Utimune Kodzere, Pa Congress. through the democratic process. The most important thing which Zanu PF and which the president is doing is to safeguard the integrity of democratic choice by Zimbabweans in the selection of the leadership of Zimbabwe. This is so important. Any other method does not and will not meet the standards of Zanu PF. And down of voterwa. This is important. So they are not saying that they are going to close out the election for a particular individual. They are simply saying that when the time comes, Pindai Murin, I win, I lose. So that's it. We cannot prescribe to a democratic people that we can't. This is a democratic party, it's a mass party. That's what Zanu PF is. It's a mass party. Vanhu vanojoina Zanu PF nekuda, vanobuda nekuda, vanosedza, vanosharuza maleaders avo nekuda. That's how we came into power in 1979, 1980, through democracy. But you know, your paper wants to champion other people. Kunzidaiva pindaiva wamusiwoyo. Amuvote Zanu PF bepareni. Membership in Zanu PF ndoyo novota. You may make noise as much as you want on your paper, but it doesn't change the fact that it is membership of Zanu PF which votes and not your newspaper. You may have the narcissism which muri Alpha Media Holdings amufiri kufura vamu. Kwedu atikendenge nazvo izvozvo. Hatina basa nazvo kusaidi kwedu kupata. Kuti munozviona sei. And kana paine vamwe vanouya kwamuri vachikuti dai matiita matipinza. Kana mazoita imimi substitute yevanhu vemavoters eZanu PF mozoita zvamunoda. But as long as the voters of Zanu PF and membership are there and they are in charge of themselves, we will listen more to them than to you. Your last question?
Yes.